when I came out here to the garage this morning, I couldn't really figure out what I was going to work with. I had some idea of taking the Mini into the garage to do some work on that to eventually try and sell it. But then it came to mind that we have something I've been pushing that I should really do. And that is mainly getting the new fan motor for the heater core back or in this thing, because I went through the heater core, put in a new one and made everything work. And I checked the fan, it did work. But then all of a sudden the fuse started to blow and it doesn't want to spin anymore. So we have a new blower motor over there that we're going to put in. And while we're at it, we're going to do some other improvements. There is something making a sound in the rear suspension, especially when I have some weight in the trunk. I want to fix that. It blows cold through the firewall on my legs, which I really don't like. We're going to look at that. The dash has all of the lights have stopped working. The fuse blows there also. So we have some odds and ends that we have to attend to. So we're going to be working on that. But also, I want to do some progress on the turbo small block. So I've been waiting too long here to paint this thing. So we're going to paint this, the first thing we do, so that can start drying while we work on this thing. And then my goal by the end of today, I want to have the turbo stuff and maybe have it startable or somewhat. So that's the goal at least. So let's paint that thing. Here we have it after some paint. Looks a lot better, but the valve covers and the intake obviously drags it down a bit, but we're gonna change those, so then it's gonna look a whole lot better. And the intake I'm gonna throw away. I'm just gonna keep this thing basically, and we have some chrome valve covers. So for now I'm gonna put this to the side, and in a few hours we can continue working with it. So now we can look here on the Chevelle, and the problem with the blower motor is that it's located in here. So we have to drop the inner fender, which shouldn't be all that hard because I've already removed it and I've done a big repair here and a big repair in the front. So yeah, maybe we can just drop it in the rear because that would be a lot easier, but I guess we'll find out. I got the wheel off here, and now we can start removing the inner fender. But when I removed the wheel, I saw that my drum has already started to rust. And when I was working on this thing, I was in a hurry, you could say, to make it to the registration, and I didn't paint anything. So they were obviously bare metal, so I'm not surprised that they have started to rust. But I mean, I've been driving these for a month, something like that now. So it has already started to rust. So I couldn't help myself. I painted the drums, so that will hopefully stop that from happening anymore. So they can dry. But something else, speaking of rust and corrosion and stuff like that, yesterday I talked about that I was planning on probably selling. I didn't talk to you last video about this, I think, but I talked about it in a Swedish video, and I am planning to try and sell this thing to build my ultimate Suburban, which isn't this thing. So that's a whole nother topic. But anyway, a friend of mine reached out and maybe wanted to buy it. So he was here and looking at it, and we opened the hood, and I saw that my brand new alternator has already starting to corrode. And I put on that alternator on the truck when it was sitting over there. I have backed it up to this spot, and then it has been sitting for like 2 weeks, and it is already starting to look ugly. And I mean, is it so bad, rust prevention these days, or is it something with the air that I live? I'm starting to think that I live close to the oceans. I'm guessing it's the salt or whatever, but it sucks. It really, really sucks when you buy shiny stuff and they start to corrode immediately. So I'm gonna try and put some WD-40 or something on it to hopefully prevent it, but other than that, I don't really see what I can do. But yeah, it sucks. But anyway, now we can remove the inner fender so we can fix this fan motor. I started to remove the inner fender, but I ran into some issues here, and this is the aftermarket these days. I really hate it. And I mean, I have put on this battery tray once, and now I'm gonna remove it, and already one of the nut inserts here is spinning. And all the bolts are clean, no problem, but it came loose, so they're barely attached. So now I have to weld that, and this is just the aftermarket these days. It feels like basically none of the aftermarket companies have any sort of pride in what they make, because why can't they just put on a little bit more weld on it? Inner fender south, no problem there. And now we have full access to our blower motor here. So we're gonna change that, but while we're here, while we're at it, I thought might as well do what I was planning on doing when we did this last, but I didn't have any paint. So I wanna clean here as good as possible and paint everything that I can within reason, make it look nice. Also, you can see this rust water here. I managed to blow the fan belt or make it fly off when I was in a tunnel, and I had to drive a little bit to get off the road, and it started spraying this rust water from the radiator, of course. So I'm gonna put on a hose here, clean all of this, paint it, make it look nice, and then we can put it together. And obviously, or probably, we won't put it together here today, but also I don't have a stress right now, so it doesn't have to be done by today, so I might as well do it a little more proper. So that's the plan. Let's clean all of this. After some cleaning and painting, this actually looks really nice. And when you have a brush in your hand, it's really easy to get carried away and paint everything. But I hold myself to not paint here in the front because it matches the rest. But I actually have a grill that I can't talk. It's at my post office, so we're gonna pick that up tomorrow, and maybe we paint the back end later on. But for now, this is how it has to do right now. But I think it looks really good. We should do the other side also, but I'm not really keen to do that right now, so we're not gonna do that. But at least this side looks good. Also, I painted some critical areas here on the inner fender. So I was going to put down some stone chip guard on this, but I've had a jug of it laying around for ages, apparently, because it had dried up. So maybe we go ahead and buy some of that tomorrow and do the inside of the inner fender for some rust protection, and also maybe some less road noise if that was a problem with this thing. But we'll see. But I'm gonna let this dry for a little bit now, go with the dogs, and then I'll be back, and maybe we can start some sort of reassembly. We have to change out the blower motor because I haven't done that yet. It's been about an hour or so here, and it is starting to dry. And the sad thing is, when you paint, it looks so amazing, and then when it starts to dry, all of the contours from everything below it starts to come to the surface, or the paint shrinks. But I mean, you could paint more layers and sand it and do whatever. It looks better, but the frame looks really nice. So we could start putting things back together, but I actually found another can of that stone chip guard thing that you have on your rockers. So I have that over there. So my plan right now is we're gonna apply that to the inner fender. Then that can dry, and everything else with the car, drums, frame, everything can dry overnight. And then we can put it together tomorrow, because we don't have a stress for anything here. So I'm gonna put on that. Then we can start putting on the turbo stuff on the small block. And that would be a little more fun. So I went ahead and put some, what is it called? I want to call it stone chip guard or whatever. But we put that on there. Unfortunately, I didn't have as much as I wanted. But at least it looks good. Our repair is basically invisible. It would have been completely invisible if I would have removed this. But I didn't really see the point. So this looks fantastic. I will probably end up putting on some more paint on it on this side tomorrow, but we'll see exactly what surface we will get when it has dried. So we can drop that now. And as I said, everything else can continue drying here until tomorrow. So now I want to put some attention here to our small block. So my plan is now we're going to remove the intake because I have another intake we're going to run. And we're going to remove the valve covers, I have some chrome covers, and put on the turbo headers. And yeah, see what we can do about this. Intake and valve covers are off, and the main thing is that I want an intake with a square bore pattern instead of the spread bore, and also aluminum intake manifolds are cooler. And obviously I want some other valve covers too. So we're gonna look into that. I'm gonna bring in the parts that I want to put on, but look at this buildup of oil beneath the crossover thing here for the exhaust, the preheat for the intake. I'm guessing this oil has been cooked and built up over time because yeah, it's caked on here. Yeah, this is nasty. So I'm gonna try and remove all of that, but other than that it seems fairly clean, so that's great, I guess. So yeah, I'm gonna clean that and bring in the stuff we're gonna put on it. And just with some valve covers and an intake, and obviously with the paint we did earlier, this looks amazing compared to what we started with. I gotta say, I'm not a fan of these valve covers, but I had these I bought at a auction site local here where I live, and what I didn't realize was, first off, they're brand new, so I thought maybe not put brand new valve covers on the junk we are working with right now. And also, these are the low style valve covers, which obviously looks good, but I like the raised style that the Chevelle has, so I may end up selling those or whatever, but I don't think that we should put them on for this project. So I put these on that I bought for like 30 bucks, and I'm not a super big fan, but they look better than the stamped steel ones at least. And unfortunately, they had used this brown packing tape for shipping, which obviously has stuck. So we have to fix that. But yeah, this is where we're at right now. And the intake manifold isn't even bolted on, but I'm running out of time here. There is a... what it's called, I'm not sure what the word is in English for there's a holiday here in Sweden right now, so the kids are off for 1 week and they are home with my wife, and I am taking some shorter days here. So yeah, I'm running out of time. That's what I'm going for. So just to visualize this a little bit, I want to put on the manifolds, put on the turbo, and just see how it could look. So let's do that. And here we have the headers and the turbo on, and this looks really, really cool. It feels like there's missing something there, but for a first turbo build, it's definitely easier going one turbo. So yeah, this is gonna be really, really fun. And obviously we're gonna put everything together in a better way to really start it, obviously. But yeah, this gives me a lot of motivation. And now we can start looking at the oil feed. I think I have some fittings for this with this kit. So we have to figure out if we're gonna go to here or down here or wherever we're gonna get our oil. And then we're gonna have to look for a drain, which is a bit tight here with the turbo. We'll see if this will work, but I think we're gonna put something into the pan. We could put it into the pump, but for now I would like to keep the mechanical pump. We'll see how all of this goes, but my plan is we are going to make this our dedicated turbo engine. Obviously this is a turd, but it's gonna at least let us try running turbo, and we can start messing with carbs and however we're gonna make all of this work. And at the moment, I don't really even know what we're gonna put this in. As of right now, since we sold the Nova, we only have one vehicle, one Chevy that is sitting without an engine, and that is the 65 Chevelle convertible project, as I like to call it. And I can't really make up my mind, at least not right now, if I want this thing, because this is really cool. But that thing is also really cool in a completely different way. So we'll see how all of this turns out. It's a great problem to have too many engines for your projects. So we'll see how everything comes around. We can swap engines back and forth. Maybe we put the 454 in the Chevelle here or do something else. But We'll see, time will tell. But that's where we're at the moment. I would really like to continue working here, but unfortunately I have to quit for now. So yeah, I'll be back to you tomorrow and see what progress we can make then.